Right. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Total Fitness. Tuesday, and today's routine is called Relax. That's an ironic title. It ain't very relaxing. You'll understand why by the time we get to the end. You'll need a kettlebell or two. We're doing some AMRAPs today. Not a big fan of AMRAPs, but you can't always do what you like every day. Yeah, a couple of kettlebells. We've got a bit of variety with your weights. Then that's all good. Let's get warmed up, and then I'll go through the details with you. Right, okay. exercise kind of acts as an active rest. So the rep scheme we're following, 5 exercises, 50 reps is number 1, 40 reps is number 2, 30, 20, 10. Now as those reps go down, each exercise is more intense than the last. So the first one acts as always low intensity and acts as a kind of a bit of a breather for you, okay? Kind of. Okay? You're resting, but you're not resting. So 50, 40, 30, 20, 10. 3 circuits to do. If you get around twice, you've done well. Okay, any more, just keep going. It's not a race, however you want to get through them. You want to get through them with good form. Okay, don't rush them to the point where your form suffers. Good quality form, keep moving. Some of them will take you longer, some of them will be shorter. Just get through and keep going. Right, so here's your first circuit. Okay, morning Debbie. So number 1, your 50 rep is 50 jacks, just like your warm up, only this time you count in instead of slide. So 50 jacks. Okay? Next one, 40 reps, 40 crunches. So you want your mat. So a crunch, we're not doing a full sit up. It's literally just a spinal flexion, there's no hip flexion. So it's all happening here. What you want to do again, it's tempting to just rush these, but make the most of them. Get your elbows back and make it twice as tough. So I like to tap my elbows to the floor, tap, squeeze, tap, squeeze. Okay? That will have a massive, massive ab response. 40 reps of that. If you do them properly, you'll know about it. So 40 crunches. Then 30 reps. You're doing from a high plank. You're going to push up like a warm up, but no upward dog, just like a downward dog movement, and then reach for your toes. So, from a high plank position, so you're here, push the floor away, hips up in the air, reach your right hand to your left leg, and then back. Push the floor away, push the floor away. So you're not going into that position this time though. Okay, just stop on that horizontal plane. And 30, 15 each side. Okay? What it isn't is this. I saw a few people this morning. They're bringing their hand leg in and just going. Okay, if not that, okay, you're in that push-up position, and that hand, your hand and feet doesn't stay the same. You drive it up and really reach through. If you can't reach your foot, a lot of people won't be able to, they've got flexibility in the hamstrings. Just reach for your knee or your ankle, or just as near as you can. Okay, anyway, 30 reps. Then you're on your 20s, getting tough now. 20 burpees, always tough. Yeah, that changes things. Then you start to figure 20 burpees. Okay, again, just take your time though. And you don't have to do them chest to floor. Then obviously if you're capable, then do. And then the last one is what you want your kettlebell for this round. And that's 10 push press per side. So rack your kettlebell, okay, hand on the chin, a little bend for a push press, and a little quarter squat. You get a little bit of leg assistance, okay, there, and then drive it up. Maybe try to cover your ear with your hand, not with your hand, with your arm, okay. Nice full lockout, so you don't want to be like this, okay, it's going to be there, okay. 10 on that side. 10 on the other, that's 10 per side. Okay? Right, let me set the timer and we're good to go. Right, 10 minutes on, 3 minutes rest. Steady, keep working, keep moving. 50, 40, 30, 20, 10 reps. Okay, as many rounds as you can in 10 minutes. Minutes. and you're sitting back. Yeah, engage the glutes. This angle all the time, keep your mind there. Okay, ready? Go. Bunny hop first. Okay. You ready then? Let's go with bunny hops. 50. 3. Oh my God, right. Last one. You might have finished for you then. Okay, final one. 50 split jacks. Okay, on toes. Nice and steady. Maybe 40. happening here at the hips, not at the knee. That. Okay? You better not take it a bit longer again than that. That's 40. 30. Deadlift. Heavy as we go. Up. Heels level. Remember your rules for your deadlift. It's a hinge, not a squat. So your hips. Whereas the squat you sit down, the deadlift you sit back. First though, engage the glutes. Imagine someone's doing that, and you're doing that, resisting it. Screw your feet into the floor. Hips, go back. So your belly comes to your quads. Okay? Close your armpits. Imagine you stink and someone's come to speak to you. You wouldn't be flapping your armpits around. You keep them nice and closed. That's what you need to do. Hinge. 30 reps. Okay? With your arms in and your hips out. Then you've got 20 reps. Floor press, bit of chest this time. 20 per side. So, get this one right as well. Little thing inside. Roll it in with both hands. 45 degree angle, not like this. Just like a press up. Knuckles facing the ceiling, your hand is above your elbow. Not there, not there, not there. Anywhere else will make it weak. Hand straight line to the elbow. You work inside, grab the heel, and then drive through. Elbow back to the ground. 20 reps that side, 20 reps the other. And the last one is an alternate clean to rear lunge. 10 reps total. So there, one side, dead clean, and a rear lunge, back, switch. Clean, no press, just rack it, and back. Okay? Right, split jacks first then. Right, everyone ready? Last one, 3, 2, 1. Right, relax. Okay, so here's what you're doing. It's a trigger finisher. Frankie goes to Hollywood. Relax, please. Your background exercise. Trying to keep going. Again, like a metronome. Bang. Sit-ups. If you want to do them strictly, you can. They're not easy. Hands at temples. Hold 50 flat. Equally, you want to cheat, that's fine. It's not something to harm you, you can still get a big out response. As long as you know you're cheating, that's all that matters to me. Okay, by cheating I mean this. Okay, or that even. Okay? The further the weight goes out, hands and feet, the easier it is. The further everything comes in, the harder it is. Do it easy, as long as in the back of your head there somewhere, you're always aiming to progress and improve and have at least some strength. Not just on this finisher, but every time you just stretch. Right, here's the twist. Every time he says relax, you don't relax, you've got to get up, stand up. How you do that's up to you. You just quickly go, stand up as fast as you can. Back down. He says it in quick succession. You want to up and down, it takes a lot of calories just to do that. If you can do a deck squat, get that little bit of momentum, plant your heels up, Now that's obviously time and step. That's the quickest way to do it. So if you're capable, deck squats, even if you use a helping hand, that will be a faster way. Okay? You do it how you're comfortable. And if you fall behind, that's fine. Okay, right. Time to relax. Okay. You ready now? Sit-ups and deck squats. Keep them coming in. This is where we take this. 3, 2, 1. see. So you might see some different places online. Anyway, thanks for subscribing. Thanks for tuning in. See you in 2 minutes, or tomorrow evening. It's my daughter's birthday tomorrow, so I'm not here in the morning. I'll be back in the morning on Thursday. Have a great day. I'll see you in 2.